Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim. I own and run the Humble Hermit LLC. Come as you are Oracle, Music Mama 80. I have two YouTube channels, a thriving semi-viral TikTok, an Instagram account, a Facebook, and a business Facebook. I'm on here doing a tell all basically about my life because I was called to do it last year and put it off for like a year. So here I am talking about all the crazy bullshit that has happened to me throughout my life. So, continuation of part 6. Um, so, I'm at the Labor Day party. My best friend tells me that she had had a sexual relationship with this man in the past. I said, okay, not interested. Um, then I meet him. Big, tall guy, white beard, white hair, kind of scruffy, tattoos. Well, what ends up happening is we meet at the table because her sister puts out a bunch of snacks and refreshments and stuff like that. Um, okay, I don't know why this won't come up there. And I meet him at the table and I say hi and he says hi and he said something or made a joke and I laughed and walked the hell away. um, I ended up getting my seat ready for the projection movie and I was sitting there reading a book and there was people at the fire pit and there was people at the table and my friend's sister like went in the kitchen to do stuff to get food ready and all that jazz, and I was watching her husband and his friend like do the projection and like they put in a movie to test it and I was sitting there and my friend went off to talk with the man. I'm just going to call him the man. I didn't really think anything of it at the time. Now I obviously have different thoughts about it. Um, so I should say before that, I was still with the best friend, and she asked me to go into the house to get her phone because I had put it in there to charge. And when I went in there, I could hear her sister and the man in what was like her craft room, which is on the other side of the kitchen. And when you come in the side door, it's the kitchen, a little dinette kind of area, their living room. There's a bar area off to the end, and then there's a little hallway with the bathroom, her craft room, my friend's bedroom, and then the master suite, which is a big bedroom, a bathroom, and actually like a porch off the bedroom. And I heard them in the room. Well, I didn't think I made any noise. I was just walking over to get her phone. I took her phone off charge. As I was walking back towards the door to the craft room opened and the two of them came out. And I was like, that's odd. Why would you close the door and hide in your craft room with a man that is not your husband? And when I went out to take my friend her phone, I made a comment about it. And she was like, oh, she was probably just showing him something on the door, on the back of the door. Don't get me wrong. My friend's sister's craft room was filled with crafts. to the point where like it's hard to walk around in there. Um, I just don't really believe that for a second. And especially after everything that happened thereafter, I really do not believe that. But anywho, um, again, forward to later, I'm sitting there reading, they're talking, everybody's kind of milling around doing their own thing. Well, my friend ends up going into the house with her sister and her sister's friend, and I'm out there watching the movie that the husband and the friend put in, and the man comes and sits down, not next to me, but like a few feet away, and he's trying to talk to me, and I'm talking to him a little bit, and then um I think it was my friend's sister's friend, the friend of the sister, came out to tell everybody like, oh, like the food's going to be ready in a few minutes. So I set my book down on my chair and I said, oh, I should go in and help. And the man was talking to the husband and the husband's friend, and he made a comment like, oh, I didn't bring a tent, I'm not spending the night. And the husband said to the man, he's like, well, you can stay with Kim in her tent, that tent is big enough for like 20 people. And my tent was like, I think it's like an 8-person tent. I had a king size blow up bed in there, I think, or a queen, one or the other. I had a big freaking blow up bed in there, and I had a little chair. I had my little fold up chair in there, and I probably still could have put a whole other like full size bed in there. I could have put more chairs in there. I could have put table, like you name it. The thing was huge. And as I was walking away, he goes, "Oh, he's like you have a big tent." He says he said something like, "You have room in your tent." And I said over my shoulder, I said my door is always open. I was getting a little bit flirty. However, he says he never heard that. I don't know if he did or not. I'm just gonna be honest. Um, and it doesn't matter in the overall scheme of things. But I did go inside. Everybody ended up going inside. We all ended up getting food. Me and the friend and the sister's friend went outside to sit out on the patio. Everybody else kind of stayed inside. Um, and we were eating, and I think they were starting fireworks as we were finishing up because everybody started coming out. And the man said he was going to go watch fireworks. I think the husband's friend went to watch fireworks with him. I did not go. And my best friend kept looking at me like, are you going to go? Are you going to, and it's like, no, like we already had this discussion. Um, even though I had made the flirting comment, which went nowhere. Nothing was going to happen. In my mind, nothing was going to happen, in all honesty, just because of our past in regards to men. So, again, I'll talk about that later, how that started. So, we end up watching fireworks from where we are. They end up going to the street and walking down like a block or something like that. I don't know. You could see them just fine from the yard. Everybody came back. We started a movie. Um, we were watching the movie. It's one of my favorite movies, Monster Squad. I love it. It's one of my favorites from the 80s, and very campy. And everybody was kind of like talking and watching the movie and talking, whatever. I was just watching the movie. I wasn't paying attention. It was me, my best friend, and the man. And then there were people behind us and people. There was nobody on my side, but there were people after the man, and then there were people behind us. And I don't know. The husband kept going up to like play. I don't know. The movie was fine. The screen was fine. Everything was fine. The movie ends and everybody starts leaving because there was probably like 20 people there. I would say around there. Well, the man gets up to leave too. I'm like, okay, so he's not staying with me in my tent. Okay, that's fine. That's more than fine. Because I kind of regretted my little flirtatious jab there. Um, so sorry, I'm gonna start getting cards ready for my read tonight on YouTube. Um, so he ends up leaving. I say goodbye along with everybody else. Like I don't make a big deal about it. To me, it's not a big deal. Um, Everybody goes to bed. That night, my friend slept in the house in her room by herself. I slept in my tent. Um, the sister and her husband slept in the camper. The sister's friend slept in her tent. But we all kind of got to bed kind of late, I think probably like midnight-ish. I don't know. And then everybody got up, I want to say like between 7 and 8-ish. I'm an early riser, so I was in my bed in my tent reading or playing on my phone or whatever. Um, that Monday morning, I had told them like I was probably gonna leave like in the afternoon, and that Monday morning, we all decided to walk into town to get coffee and we can get breakfast or whatever. So we go to this cute little coffee shop and I got a coffee, my friend got a coffee. I think the sister and the sister's friend got coffee in like a Danish or something. I don't know. But we get to the table and one of the first things that happens is the sister is like, "So, what about you and the man? Did you give him your number?" And I was like, "No." So apparently everybody knew because apparently he, when he was off with my friend and they were talking while I was reading and watching the men set up the projector, apparently he was telling her that I was cute and he was interested and whatever. I thought that was a little funny since he didn't understand, that I was inviting him to spend the night in my tent. And he didn't understand that. I thought that was a little weird, but whatever. So I told my friend's sister, I said, probably not going to happen. I said, not really him, but me, I'm just not. So we ended up having coffee and they helped me take down my tent and I ended up leaving a little bit later than I planned, but I left. And I was still trying to digest the weekend and what happened between me and the best friend and what happened with the man. And probably like Wednesday or Thursday, I got a Facebook request from the man. So I accept. He starts messaging me on Messenger. We start talking back and forth. And again, this was Labor Day. So finally, he wears me down and we agreed to meet on September 16th, which is a Friday, in the evening. Like late in the evening. Basically like booty call thing, if you get my drift. And if you don't, if you're too young and you don't know what a booty call is, Google it. Because I'm sure it's in a dictionary somewhere. It's my neighbor's dogs. So, I tell the best friend that he messaged me, that he friended me, and she's like, "Oh, okay." She didn't really, it wasn't a big deal to her. And this is shocking to me after what happened between us before with the other guy, the guy that brought me the peppermint patties. So funny thing is, and I don't believe any. I just let you guys know I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe in chances. I believe in fate. I believe in destiny. And she asked me probably like a week beforehand, can you come take care of me on September 16th? It's a Friday. This is the Friday I'm supposed to meet the man. And I said, well, I can come and like, take care of you and put you to bed and stuff. I'm like, but I got to be out of there by like 10. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's not a problem. So I let him know that I'm going to take care of her before I come to see him that night. Okay, fine. He's a trucker, by the way, so he's gone most of the week and then comes home for the weekends and then is gone again. And he's usually like Friday afternoons, early evenings, he's home. So the plan was for me to be by his place, I think originally at 10, but I pushed it back with him because I was taking care of her. So I go to take care of her that night, and, you know, it's just the two of us. I brought a protein shake for dinner because that's what I was doing at the time. And as soon as I get there, like everything is off, everything is wrong. She's in a bad mood. She has attitude, and her attitude is getting worse. Because she says something, she's like, oh, well, what do you want to order for dinner? And I said, well, I didn't think we were ordering dinner. I thought I would make you something. Because she has food. She's, I don't know if she's considered a vegan, but she's vegetarian. Like, she'll eat Impossible burgers, but she won't eat a real burger. And, like, she'll eat fish and stuff, but she's a vegetarian. So I said to her, oh, I just figured I'd make you something, and I brought my shake. Oh, okay, well, I mean, I thought I would buy you dinner. And I was like, oh, I'm like, you don't have to do that. I'm like, don't you have anything here that, like, I can make for you? It's not a big deal. I was doing her laundry, and I was doing a couple other things for her while I was there because, I mean, it's not my job. I don't get paid to do it, but I love her. She's my best friend. She's my sister. I will take care of you. You don't have to ask me. You don't have to pay me. We've been friends for 30 plus years. So then she tells me she gets in a huff about it and she wants a drink, like an alcoholic drink. So I get her a drink, and she usually has like these big sippy cup things. She has a ton of them and little ones. And so I fill her up, something with booze. I don't know. And I think she had 2 or 3 of them before I left. Um, so then she tells me, well, my friend was going to come over tonight and we were going to order pizza. And this is the guy that got me the peppermint patties for my birthday, the guy that got us Mexican for my birthday. And I was like, you never told me. I said to her, I'm like, you never told me he was coming over. And she goes, yeah, it was a plan. Like he was gonna get pizza, and we were all gonna eat together, and chit chat and blah blah blah. And I said, so is he coming? And she's like, well, he can't. Like, he doesn't feel good, or something like that. Something happened, and he couldn't come. Okay, like, I'm like, how does that change anything? Like, and I told her, I'm like, if you want to order a pizza, you can order a pizza. I said, but I'm gonna drink my shake. Like, that's how I planned out my calories for the day. Was I was having my shake for dinner because I ate during the day. So eventually, she let me make her some like Impossible chicken, some fake chicken. Um, and I tried a little bit of it. It was okay. Um, I had my shake. Well, actually, I ended up having a shake of hers, because I left mine in the car. And I took her to the bathroom, and then I think we ate and we watched some TV, and she started to get weird because I was like going back and forth and doing laundry and cleaning up the dishes from dinner and just kind of like cleaning and doing other things. She has a dog, so like I was making sure the dog was okay and there were piddle pads everywhere and all that jazz. Making sure when the dog needed to get fed, the dog got fed and all that. Because she usually has a daily alarm go off when the dog needs to get fed. So I fed the dog and changed the water and all that jazz. Well, I was in between, I was on my phone putzing around and I was talking to the man, but I was also talking to other people, men, women, that I had met online and just talking, just talking. So she asked me, and I did not feel comfortable talking about the man. But I told her, like, oh, I'm just talking to some people that I met online. She did not like that comment. She did not like that comment at all. Because then she proceeds to just get like snippy and starts treating me like I'm a paid employee and I need to do certain things and do this and do that. Like, go get my mail. Like, she literally was like, go get my mail. Okay. And then she got a package for her sister, something that she had ordered for her birthday, a coat, I think it was. I think it was a coat. And she's like, can you try it on? You guys are about the same size. And we are about the same size. So I try it on and she's looking at it and she's like, well, how does it feel? And I looked at her and I said, well, does it matter how it feels to me? I said, because it's not my coat, I'm not going to wear it. I'm like, it's fine. Like, it fits. Like, I can move and you know what I mean? Like, but I can't tell you that she's going to like it. We're not the same person. She didn't like that answer. Like I said, I think she had 2 or 3 drinks. And then she's like, okay, well, can you take me to the bathroom again? And then, like, I'll watch like another hour of TV or so, and then bathroom and to bed. So it's already almost 9 o'clock. So basically, what she's telling me is I'm not going to get out of there at 10 o'clock. Okay, fine, whatever. It doesn't matter. Again, like, I will take care of her. No questions asked. So she wants to use the urinal in the living room. That's fine. I go get the urinal. I get some wipes, all that jazz. She's in her wheelchair. She wants to stay in the wheelchair. So I would have to move the feet out from the wheelchair off to the sides and then just pull her forward a little bit, pull down her pants, all that jazz. So when I'm going to move her feet out, her stirrup feet things out to pull her forward, I do that. And then I go to lift her up to pull down her pants. But then I said, hold on. Like, your pants are underneath your shoe. And I didn't want her to slip, fall on me, fall back. Neither one of us has a phone. You know what I mean? If I get hurt, how am I going to get up off the floor? So I said, oh, wait, hold on. And she goes, no. She's like, don't tell me what to do. And I said, no. I said, your pants are caught underneath your foot. I said, I don't want you to fall. And she goes, don't fucking talk to me like that. And when I tell you that, like, my mind was going a million miles a minute, because first of all, she's never talked to me like that, ever. And second of all, you should never ever talk to somebody that's taking care of you. I don't care if you pay them or not. You do not treat people like that at all. So in my mind is literally like going blank, but still like a million miles a minute, because I was like, what is happening here? And when I get angry, like when I get really angry, I see fucking red. And when I say I see red, like I see red. Like my vision is red. Actually like a blood red, you know? Like literally when I get mad and I get like that, I know I need to go take a time out and walk away because I will say or do something. Like I know who I am. I know my limits. Yeah, I know. So she says that to me. She's like, "You're not gonna fucking talk to me like that." And I was like, okay. So I lift her up, pull her pants down. Thankfully, she doesn't fall or slip or anything. And I'm trying to like do the pants from the bottom to pull them out from underneath her shoe and pull her pants down. So there she is sitting on her wheelchair, no pants. I said to her, I said, okay, like I'm gonna get the I said to her, I said, I'm gonna take you to the bathroom and get you redressed. I said, and then you can call somebody else to come put you to bed. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, no, I'm like, nobody talks to me like that. I'm like, you're not gonna talk to me like that. And she goes, you're being really rude right now. And I stood up, I stood up because I was going to get the urinal. It was on the table with the wipes. And I looked at her and she's looking up at me and she's got like a cocky, like, you know, kind of like. And I looked at her and I'm like, what? And she goes, yeah, you're being really fucking rude to me right now. And I was like, I'm just gonna take you to the bathroom. Like I'm just gonna have you go to the bathroom. So I get the urinal and the wipes and I get back down on my knees and she made a comment and I don't remember what it was. She said something like, see, I told you, or something like that. She said something weird, like that didn't make any sense to me. Like I told you so, or see, I told you, or something like that. And I was like, what? Because I thought I missed something. Like I thought I was blacking out because of the way she was talking to me and the fact that like it was so hard for me to register it because you're talking about a woman that has been emotionally, mentally, and verbally abused by a relative her whole life. So, as an adult, having not experienced that from this specific person, it's kind of like, wait, what? Like, how is this even like what? Like, you know, it's like shock. It's like absolute shock. So like I'm getting ready to, you know, I'm put the urinal up to her between her legs. I'm getting ready to have her go to the bathroom. And I said, I'm gonna have you go to the bathroom and then I'm gonna leave. And you're gonna have to figure this out for, you know, the rest of the night. And she goes, you're not fucking going anywhere. She's like, you are never gonna leave me. And when I tell you that I looked up into her eyes. I was on my knees in front of her and I looked up into her eyes. And those were the coldest, deadest eyes I've probably ever seen in my life. I set the urinal down next to the wipes that were on the floor. She had her pants down around her ankles. I got up. On the table was I have like a change purse with like my wallet, my phone, and stuff in there. And it was all in there. I had put it in there earlier because I wasn't on my phone or anything. I put it in there. And I had my water bottle for work that I always carried around for extra water. And I had my car keys. And I grabbed those three things. And I turned and walked towards the sliding glass door. She's a first floor condo. So I go to walk out, and it's up like a little grassy hill. And my car is right there in the parking lot. And as I go to shut the door, her dog is running after, barking, and she's just sitting there, like, looking at me. And I close the door. I didn't even look at her, but I could see her out of the corner of my eye, and I could see the dog out of the corner of my eye. And I turn and I walk up the hill, and I get in my car, and I started my car, and I took a very deep breath, and I didn't even put on my music, which I usually do because music in the car is therapy, but I didn't. And I started the car and I took my deep breath and I drove away. That was part 7. This is going to continue into part 8.